I've never talked about the band Muse on my channel, and rather than talk about one of their albums or the making of one of their songs for the first story on the band, someone instead had requested a very different topic through my request form. Back in 2003, it came out that Muse had sued coffee maker Nescafe and their parent company Nestle. Let's explore what happened. Muse rose to prominence in the early 2000s, and throughout their career, their lyrics have really evolved, first discussing themes of alienation and relationships, before graduating to the dark side of technology, war, and government control. In 2003, Nescafe was running TV advertisements that used Muse's cover of the song Feeling Good. The song is synonymous with Nina Simone, even though she didn't write it. The song was written by English composers Leslie Bricus and Anthony Newley for the 1964 musical The Roar of the Greasepaint, The Smell of the Crowd. It would later be covered and become synonymous with jazz and soul singer Nina Simone 1 year later. According to the website Drowned in Sound, apparently the publishing was owned by Nina Simone's estate. Feeling Good would be covered by numerous artists over the years, and Muse would release a cover of the song on their 2001 album Origin of Symmetry. Their cover was considered by the readers of Enemy magazine to be the greatest cover of all time, beating out Hurt by Johnny Cash and the Beatles' Twist and Shout. The song would be released as a double A-side single along with Hyper Music and would peak at number 24 in the UK and go gold. It would turn out that coffee company Nescafe would use Muse's cover of the song in their 2003 advertisement without the band's permission. Muse would put out a statement on their website that read at the time, "Muse are very surprised to see their version of the song Feeling Good appearing in a recent Nescafe TV advertisement. Especially as Muse specifically said no when Nescafe requested the recording, Muse's management are on the case, they'd say. Personally, I always assumed that to use a song, you only needed permission of the person who owns the publishing, so if another artist covered it, you wouldn't need their permission." It turned out that Nestle originally asked Muse to use their version, which they said no to. They then increased the money they offered to license the song, and the band still said no, as did the record label. One report I came across said the band didn't want their music being used to sell coffee, while another report claimed the band declined the offer because of, and I quote, baby-starving connotations. Nescafe didn't stop there, as they went to the owner of the song's publishing, which was Nina Simone, and got her permission to use the song, hence why they used Muse's version. Regarding the baby-starving connotations, Nestle, Nescafe's parent company, has been labeled as one of the most unethical companies in the world. One of the biggest scandals the company was involved with dated back to the 70s when Nestle got mothers, many of whom lived in squalor in the developing world, hooked on baby formula instead of breast milk. Nestle went as far as to lobby hospitals to push formula as well. The end result would be 1.5 million children would die and many grew up malnourished. The allegations led to hearings in the US Senate and the World Health Organization, who created a new set of marketing rules. Another big scandal involving the company was their alleged use of slave labor to create their chocolate products. These and several other scandals would result in people boycotting the company. Getting back to the story with Muse, they would end up suing Nestle over unauthorized use of the cover of Feeling Good and would be awarded £500,000. It was reported that they donated all of the money to charity. Most of the money would be donated to Oxfam, and Nescafe would end up using Nina Simone's cover of the song after their dust-up with Muse. Enemy would interview Muse frontman Matthew Bellamy in 2003, who discussed the controversy, saying, "They asked us to do an advertisement and we said no. And it just turned up on TV. We said, this is ridiculous, can you take it off? They did, and then replaced it with some bloody crappy version of the song. We got some money, but we're going to give it to charity. A large percentage of it will go to someone like Oxfam, who run the Make Trade Fair campaign, helping independent coffee producers amongst others. And then the rest to some local charities near where we're from in Devon." The interviewer would ask Bellamy whether the band would ever license their music to sell products, to which he responded, "You have to be careful. I'm not necessarily against advertisements, as long as it's something we agree with, be it the company or the product that we would ourselves use. A nice, decent, fast car wouldn't be bad," he'd laugh. Years after the controversy, the song would be heavily licensed by Hollywood in both films and television, as well as appearing in the video game The Saboteur. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again on Rock and Roll True Stories.